Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So this ride took place on Mother's Day, so happy belated Mother's Day to you all. Some guy's gonna make fun of us in a bit, saying that we're all bad sons for not staying home with our mothers.
All bad son! all bad son! Every son, go home earlier. Come on, man. Go,
So it's just unusual culprits, just me, Khaled, and Kyle.
We're celebrating Rachel and Kirsty.
We're going to be starting from the Arctic,
Roger's pretty fast now.
going down Santa Ana River Trail, all the way down to the beach, and then we're going to go to Shake Shack, or at least that was the plan. We're going to split from this main Taiwanese group once we hit the beach, mainly because they're just going to be doing a short ride to get a coffee break. But we're going to be pushing forward and eventually passing through Balboa Island to get to Shake Shack. So here is just our usual starting point. You've seen this before in my other rides, but right off the bat we had a puncture, so that's why everyone's diverging. He's fixing it right now. Yeah, good thing about tubeless tires is that, you know, all you gotta do is just, you know, spin the wheel and have the fluids fill up the puncture, and then off you go. Well, after you fill it up with some air. So I was feeling pretty good about myself, so I tried to stay with the main front group here for this part, but what you don't see later on is that I got dropped pretty badly. So this is after we've split up with the group already. We decide we're going to take the ferry across the Balboa Island.
Did you get dropped, Khaled? Did you get dropped, Khaled? Oh shoot.
And then it was caught up when we got close.
Yeah, clear.
So what Khaled was saying is that the headwind was really strong this particular day, especially going down the Santa River Trail. Here I'm talking about the crosswinds, because now that we're facing alongside the coastline, we're getting a lot more crosswinds. With deep dish wheels, it kind of blows us left and right. So our plan now was to head down Balboa and then try to catch a ferry across the Balboa Channel, and then cross Balboa Island and make our way back to PCH. We weren't sure how, but you know, it's always an adventure and we're willing to take some risk. For the record, this was all Kyle's idea, but he's been here many times before, so I trust his judgment, and it's good when you can explore new places with friends, and you know, and feel comfortable about it, especially when you're on your bikes and you know you have to navigate through traffic, deal with all these kinds of unpredictable, you know, weather conditions. So like I said, we just got to roll with the punches. We did map the whole ride out beforehand, but we did a last minute thing where we tried to join with another group, a bigger group, and so that took us on a little bit of a detour, but it did as well. So now we're here at the ferry. This is pretty exciting for me. It's my first time crossing. I've been here before, obviously, for parasailing and other activities, but this is my first time crossing the Balboa Channel using the ferry. So you can see at this point that there's two lanes, one for cars and the other is for pedestrian and bikes. We obviously took that one on the right side for bikes and pedestrians. So they have like these two ferries that keep on going back and forth, you know, pretty much all day long.
You think it's gonna be like Catalina?
Like we'd be on the deck.
Alright, this is our first time crossing the ferry together. Kyle's done it many times, but for me this is the first. In America, so we're gonna cross to the other side right there. we're leaving. Maybe I should put this on time lapse.
So we disembarked at this point and made our way across Balboa Island. I have to make note that if we ever come here, we got to be very careful about traffic. These cars will stop without without any warning, and with these tiny narrow streets, you got to be careful about that, because there were a few close calls where we almost kind of like rammed right into a car because they made an abrupt stop, probably because they were looking for parking, and parking is quite scarce on this island. And just as I'm saying that, I can see some parking spots right now. So now we're exiting the main town area of Balboa Island, and we're going to be crossing a bridge onto the mainland again. And the goal here is to find PCH, Pacific Coast Highway. That's the main highway that we're going to try to reach so that we can make our way to the Shake Shack. And normally we try to take the streets, but for this part it was quite narrow. We decided just to stay on the sidewalk, just for at least this part, until we can reach a major street where we can ride along it again. So once we reached that stoplight ahead, we had to make a choice. We can either make that climb, going straight up towards PCH, and then make a ride on PCH, or we can ride along Bayside, which is this street perpendicular to us right now, and catch up with PCH at some point. I believe this Bayside street actually connects to Corona Del Mar, and then you can just make a left on any one of the streets to get back up on PCH, which turned out to be a great idea because we took it and it was relatively empty. I mean, it's not as busy as the main highways or the main streets up ahead. And also you see some pretty nice houses here. Some are in construction. But yeah, these houses have got to be in the millions. Some with a nice view of the ocean as well. After a few climbs and detours, we were able to make it back onto PCH, and here the sign tells you where Crystal Cove is. That's exactly where we were headed. This is kind of like a range of between small climbs and some small descents as well too. If you can ride the descents down fast enough, you might be able to pick up momentum to kind of go up the next climb. So it's kind of like a bunch of rolling hills. Very, very flat still, I would say. This is not even close to being called a climb. We also met up with a group of guys that were called Lightning. Yeah, their group was called Lightning. I joked around saying that they were pros. They laughed and they said, only in our minds. It was definitely nice to meet other riders along the way, and most were pretty friendly. So we pushed forward along PCH to try to find the Shake Shack along the side. The bad thing about not routing your ride ahead of time on the Wahoo is that you kind of have to do it based off of memory, and it's a lot different when you're in a car versus when you're on a bike. Your judgment of distance is a lot different. So we started kind of booking it because we were all feeling pretty hungry at this point. So we kind of just went as fast as we could and look alongside the right side to see if we can find any shack that were serving burgers. You can see there's a little bit of a hill up ahead there. I believe it was after that hill that we found the Shake Shack. We mistaken one of these buildings here for the Shake Shack, but it turned out to be just a state park building. So we finally made it to the Shake Shack, and as you can tell, it was crowded. All these parking lots right here are reserved for people that are taking their food to go. You're not allowed to park here and dine. That's what they were telling us while we were in line. Good thing about having a bike is that you don't need to take up a parking space, so we just put our bike alongside the bench and took our time eating. And that pretty much sums up this ride. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I hope you enjoy this lovely footage of us enjoying our meal. Lovely view with these two guys.